Hello, everybody, and welcome back to All Things Football. After a fantastic week of European fixtures, which saw Bayern Munich, Chelsea, Real Madrid, and Manchester City progress to the semi-finals of the Champions League, and Villarreal, Arsenal, Roma, and Manchester United progress to the semi-finals of the Europa League, I think that is the only place to start. We're going to start with Bayern Munich's win slash aggregate loss over PSG. I think it's pretty much what we might have expected, apart from the team which progressed, in my opinion. What were your thoughts on the match?
Yeah, again, second leg just as good as the first leg. And I think it's the same issue for Bayern this leg. Obviously, Lewandowski's not there. I mean, promoting got the goal for Bayern. Bayern won on the night. Obviously, it's not enough on aggregate as well. But yeah, Bayern did create chances. And just they're missing their main number 9 up front. I think that's over the 2 legs.
Yeah, I think I agree with you 100% there. Choupo-Moting did get the goals, but in both legs, but he just didn't look. There's a difference in class between those between Choupo-Moting and Robert Lewandowski. Choupo-Moting has done fantastically well to even earn a place in the Bayern Munich side after playing for Stoke. He of course went to PSG. He scored against his former team, but with the 31 chances created in the first leg alone, Lewandowski would have finished that tie off last week. I'll have to say, though, both legs is the best round of Champions League football, knockout football I've watched in a very, very long time. In an age where football is so technical and pragmatic, with the few exceptions, including teams like Manchester City and Liverpool, it was nice to see two teams, world-class teams, just go at it from minute 0 to minute 180 in terms of both legs. Mbappe, Neymar, unfortunately, didn't really steal the show at the Allianz, but Neymar, he was kind of wasteful. He was
wasteful, but he's an entertainer.
Yeah.
I watched that game because the way he was doing all these skills, he's just playing as if he's in the park. He's playing as if this is not a quarter-final of a Champions League. He's just playing just plays, obviously wasted chances, but he puts on a show. And also Mbappe, he's just dangerous. I think obviously there's the Mbappe-Haaland debate. I think Mbappe is so clear. Just watching him in the 2 legs, the way he runs at defenders if they're not there, the way he takes on players without any fear. He's actually clinical as well. That's the difference as well. He's clinical, so he can play anywhere across the front 3, and he's amazing.
Yep, I know he's going to be a future Ballon d'Or winner. Unless something happens, I don't think that's up for debate. But I still remain by what I've always said. We need to see him in either La Liga or the Premier League, because I know there's the top 5 leagues, which includes Bundesliga, Serie A, Liga, and the French league, La Liga, and the Premier League. But I do feel like the Premier League and La Liga are the top 2 in terms of the quality. You go to those leagues to show what you're about to get tested. So until he joins a team in either league, I can't say he's clear. I'd still put Haaland as a striker. His primary job is to score goals, and I do believe he's a better goal scorer than Kylian Mbappe.
But overall, Mbappe he's the guy.
He's definitely world class, but I just need to see him take that step up for me to really finalize my opinion on him. I have no doubts that he'll be amazing wherever he goes, but Farmers League, it is a Farmers League.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about Mbappe needing to leave PSG, obviously, to play in like La Liga or Premier League. But say that happens, what happens to Neymar?
Are you talking about him personally, or
actually happens to leave? What happens to Neymar? Does he just stay at PSG and try to carry the team, or?
It is interesting you say that, because I read something the other day. Neymar kind of revealed, I can't remember exactly what the source is, but Kylian Mbappe is one of the main reasons he's been so happy at PSG. So I can see Neymar maybe thinking one of 2 things. Mbappe leaves, so he steps up and he really pushes for that Ballon d'Or, because that was one of the main reasons he left Barcelona. Because when you're playing in a team with Messi, yes, I think he's the best player ever to play the game. when you're playing in a team with him, whatever you do is going to be overshadowed by the brilliance of Messi. He went to PSG to have his own Messi-esque fame, but of course, Kylian Mbappe came through, and if anything, he's the main man there. So if Mbappe leaves, I can either see Neymar following, him out the door, or thinking to himself, yes, this is my time now. There's nobody else here that's even close to where I am. I can really be the king of Paris, and I can show the world what I can do individually without someone else sort of stealing my thunder. So it's going to be an interesting one, but I do feel like something will happen this summer.
Yeah, and moving on to the other tie, Chelsea versus Porto. Obviously, Chelsea won 2-1 in aggregate, but lost on night 1-0. And that was an amazing bicycle kick. I don't know the name of the goal scorer, but
Karimi. I can't remember the country it comes from, but I don't want to get it wrong, but I'm going to say Iran. I think. Let me just check, actually. But it was a great bicycle kick. It's just a shame that it, was effectively meaningless. I believe that I said I can see Porto going through. They did win on the night. I'm not right, but I just always felt like it would be a tricky one for Chelsea. I know they're through to the semi-finals and they're going to be playing against Real Madrid, but I don't think they have enough to progress to the final this year.
The thing is, I disagree. I completely disagree with you because Tuchel, Chelsea squad depth, they're very much one of the favourites, I think, in that tie to get to the final.
Remember, Ramos and Varane will be back, so it just strengthens Madrid.
It does, but I back Chelsea. I think Chelsea have had it easy, and I think they will make it to the final of the Champions League this year.
I'm gonna put you on the spot here. You're looking at the defense of Real Madrid outweighs Chelsea's defense. The midfield of Real Madrid, I think, is the best in the world, and they have Benzema, Vinicius Jr., and I'm gonna say Marcos Asensio or Rodrigo, whoever they play on the right. Their whole team just is better than Chelsea's.
Yeah, that's
each individual compartment.
11. I think over 2 legs is about the whole team, and over 2 legs, I think Chelsea's team, the overall squad, is better than Real Madrid. It's going to make a difference for Real Madrid.
Let me just quickly check the One Football app for this video. I can't give you a straight answer because I'm gonna go down a route of I don't know who's gonna start for Real Madrid.
It's like
their bench for
Rodrigo. Those are the key names I can see in their bench.
Yeah, Isco, Rodrigo, and that's about it in terms of genuine quality. But I just think their starting 11 is so far ahead of Chelsea's. I know Chelsea have had that manager bounce and maybe it might be wearing off. They just lost against Porto, but I can't see them having the quality to actually dismantle Real Madrid because it won't just be a utter domination. You'll have to pick them apart. You'll have to play those intricate little passes and wear them out and then get the goal. I just can't see that happening to Real Madrid. Obviously, Timo Werner hasn't been on form this season at all. Havertz is finding his form and we're actually seeing, a player that Chelsea were interested in. We're seeing his genuine quality. Mason Mount obviously is a class player. And Pulisic back from injury is showing that he deserves to be in the starting 11. So they have some exciting players. But again, their first choice centre back, Real Madrid, is coming back. Varane and Ramos has been one of the best centre back partnerships.
You're saying that you don't think Chelsea can dismantle Real Madrid or things like that. Chelsea put in a very good performance when they played Atletico. Many people did not expect Chelsea to beat Atletico. So they beat Atletico, I say, with ease. And then obviously they beat Porto. And now they're in the semi-finals against Real Madrid. I think Chelsea, with that momentum, they can get to the final. I don't know why I think it, but I just have that slight feeling that they will.
I've got another reason for that. Atletico Madrid, Diego Simeone Atletico Madrid are going to be a very, very pragmatic team. They're never going to dominate possession. If you don't dominate possession against Atletico Madrid, then there's something genuinely wrong. They've never won the Champions League. They've got to the final twice, I believe, this decade. They're a very defensive team. They sit back and hit you on the counter. Chelsea were always going to be able to dominate and be able to find those spaces. It's European football as well. It's always different from the domestic league. Yes, Atletico Madrid are top of the I want to say Premier Division to be a little bit fancy, but in Europe, I just never really had them as a team that would progress deep into the competition. I would mainly say I thought they were going to win because I just not a fan of Chelsea. I don't like them as a club, and I guess a bit of bias crept in. But at the back of my mind, I wasn't surprised at all that Chelsea were able to knock them out.
Yeah, and as we're talking about Real Madrid, they obviously drew the game 0-0 with Liverpool.
Yeah.
The progress because they had the job done in the first leg. Obviously, I was surprised that they beat Liverpool in the first leg 3-1 in the way and the manner in which they beat Liverpool. So in that regard, I can't obviously write off Real Madrid because this is their trophy. They've won it the most times. They know how to win it. I think that could be the edge that Real Madrid have in Chelsea, is that they know how to win the Champions League.
Yeah.
And Chelsea have many youth players at the moment, so that lack of experience could be crucial. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good tie. And I think Chelsea fans are lucky. They just can't complain.
I believe that Chelsea have the good side of the draw as well, because they would have definitely been knocked out by City, Dortmund, PSG, or Bayern Munich. I mean, I guess that takes us brilliantly onto the Manchester City, Borussia Dortmund tie. Jude Bellingham, what a player!
Jude Bellingham, yeah, this is the best way to start this talk.
Can I just say, by the way, we have to give credit where credit's due. Whatever team you support, I know we support Man United, and I'm going to bring United into this. Solskjaer wanted him before he was this big name international. Well, he's now international. Now he's a household name. He's going to be a household name, if not already.
He came to Carrington and had a tour around Carrington.
Yeah, Solskjaer saw it. He saw it. He saw the potential and he saw the quality that was already there. He saw a 16 then, now 17-year-old man that was able to physically assert himself into any game. He definitely would be starting over Fred and McTominay for us. And now he's showing why he's gonna go for 60 plus when he finds his time to leave Dortmund, whether that's this summer or next summer. He showed over these 2 legs against, I'd say, the best side in the world at the moment that he can do it. He could come to the Premier League and dominate for the next 15 years. He's such an amazing player, and the fact that he's only 17 years old one day makes me feel like an old man. It annoys me because that could be us, bro. But it's just an amazing watch, and I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, that was literally, those 2 legs were probably the first time I've probably seen him play for 20 minutes. And I think he's one of the best players in both legs. His desire to get the ball, to win the ball, to get the team forward. He's definitely a box-to-box, but can also defend, which, I mean, at his age, 17, it looks like he's been playing for 10 years. This guy commanding the ball, everything. His whole all-round game and the finish as well to top it off. It was great feet in the box, and the way he just slotted it as if he's like a striker. I mean, this guy, Fred McTominay, can just get out of midfield. This guy will just take anyone's place.
I think
it's a shame.
You just have to pay homage to his mentality as well, because it's enough having the talent, the raw talent which he has at the moment to perform in these matches, but the mental strength you have to be the youngest player on the pitch by quite a distance and command respect. Because he wasn't shy. He's not a shy player. He commands respect from his teammates, managers, fans, pundits, and the opposition as well, which is something that not a lot of players can do. I can already see the type of player he's going to be. He looks like someone who's going to mirror what Gerrard does, I think, in terms of his height, power, physical strength at his age, his ability to get forward and create chances and still have that ability to get back and defend at a very, very high level. I'm excited for him, and I pray that we go back in for him. I don't care if we have to play 85 million.
It's actually right the level he's playing at.
Yeah.
Like he covered the most distance in I think both legs. He still had energy as well. I don't know how this guy's doing it. Obviously he was commanding. What was it? He was just like bossing the championship
Mm.
at 16 for Birmingham, then signs for Dortmund and playing Champions League football at 17 years old. I mean, this guy, he's definitely going to be up there in the future.
Definitely, he's already up there. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes on and wins a Golden Boy award to just really get his career kicking off.
Yeah, well, yeah, Man City are through.
Mm.
Other Golden Boy, Phil Foden. You have to give credit where credit is due. Obviously, this is our rivals, but we have a star in the making. Phil Foden. He benches Raheem Sterling. That's how good he is. Sterling doesn't even get a chance right now. Bellingham's going to Euros.
Yeah, he is. He's already part of the England setup. He's gonna be a recognisable face around the camp now, in my opinion. I can't see him dropping back to any sort of England youth level unless something happens. As I always say, he's going to be an integral part of England for at least a decade. And so with Phil Foden, he grabbed the match winner. I guess you just have to give him the same praise or even more than you would give someone like Bellingham or someone like Jadon Sancho. He's an attacking midfielder / winger, but he's inevitable at the moment. If Foden's on the pitch, he's involved in the goals. He's an elegant player. He's a David Silva's replacement, and I can't think of anybody else in the world who fits the role better than him. He's going to be one of the world's best. Dare I say, World 11 or even Ballon d'Or, Phil Foden. That's how highly I rate him, and it pains me to say that as a Manchester United fan, but you can't not give him any credit.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's 20 years old, same age as Haaland, and obviously Haaland was on the other side on the other team. I mean, he didn't get as much service as he could have, but Foden, I think did he play the full 90 minutes?
I believe he did. Let me check. Yes, he did play the full 90.
Yeah, I was saying he's benching Sterling. I mean, that takes a lot to bench someone who's been playing so well. Obviously, Pep has the faith in him, and this guy is definitely just going up there. Next time, he said.
And the good thing for City is I can't see him going anywhere because he's an English boy. He's an English born and bred Manchester City fan. I don't think a team like Real Madrid or Barcelona could come in for him. Messi's not going to be at Barcelona for too many more years. That's the pool they have. Real Madrid slowly but surely losing their pool. And he's English, as I said. A lot of South American or Latino players have a team like Real Madrid coming for them, and that's their dream. But Phil Foden, I think, will be at Manchester City for the rest of his career. I can see him being a one club player.
Yeah, and obviously Man City next round, PSG. What are your thoughts? I personally think this is the end of City's quadruple run.
Yeah,
being faced against PSG is game over. Haaland was, I think they just about cooked with Haaland, but Mbappe, Neymar, Di Maria, City's defense is going to get exploited.
Yeah,
it's going to get stretched. John Stones, Diaz, they're going to get burnt out by. They're going to get burnt out by Mbappe. They're going to get twisted by Neymar, and Di Maria is going to unlock their defense.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. Pochettino's come in, and I guess as every manager, well, I would say 9 out of 10 managers when they go to a new club, there's that manager bounce. Pochettino kind of got off to a tricky start. They weren't performing the best in the league, but I feel like there's a bit of a late bounce. They look like they're playing amazing football. He's playing Neymar more centrally now, with Mbappe as a central striker, 4-2-3-1 formation. That's the formation he uses in Europe at the very least. So when you have those two centrally, they have all the space around them, and with Di Maria and Draxler as well, all of them can interchange, which is the magic of it. You're looking at, I think you have a direct battle between Mbappe, Neymar, and Kyle Walker in terms of the pace, power, and defensive ability. I don't think they're gonna keep themselves pinned against someone like Ruben Diaz because he has the strength. He's deceptively fast, and I think he's been Manchester City's best centre-back this season. So I'd expect to see a lot of Neymar and Mbappe down the left-hand side against John Stones and Kyle Walker, because I feel like that's where their vulnerabilities lie. Not sure whether they're going to play Cancelo at left back or Zinchenko, but Di Maria, whoever he comes up against, is going to give them a terrible, terrible two legs, because I know he's going on, he's getting old, as they say in football, but he's still one of the best in his position in the world. And with those three alone, Manchester City going to be
I think PSG will play counter-attacking, because obviously City dominate the ball.
Yeah.
Counter-attack, I think it's just game over. I don't see any way that City can win that game over the two legs. For sure, there's going to be lots of goals, because City will create chances. I think they will unlock the PSG defense a few times, even though PSG's defense has been a bit more robust this season.
Yeah.
But I just don't see anything but the PSG win. Maybe it's just I'm being biased. Maybe I just don't want to see City win, but just like Jeremiah doesn't want to see City win the quadruple. But
I couldn't. The thing is, I don't think it's going to be a two-leg win for either team. It's either going to be a away win for both teams or a home win for both teams. It's just going to go down to who gets the most goals, because Manchester City will have looked at the Bayern Munich the Bayern Munich ties, and seen that PSG can and will play an open game. They will play expansive football. They're not going to squeeze you out. They're very, very good at playing their way out of a tight press. We saw it against Bayern Munich at least 3 or 4 times in the second leg alone. Idrissa Gueye in the midfield is someone that we definitely missed the boat on. He's very quietly playing at a very, very high level, and I'm surprised nobody else went in for him. He was playing at Everton in a very average side, but now he's playing in Champions League and is one of their most important players. Verratti isn't even playing. I think he's injured, but when he's not injured, he doesn't get regular starts. Leandro Paredes next to him, those two holding as a double pivot, they are so good. They're tenacious in the tackle. Their awareness defensively is impeccable, I think. And they have the range of passing, whether it's 5-yard passes or raking passes across the pitch. I think they have a very good team. And of course, with Marquinhos and Kimpembe at the back, I believe that partnership is very good. Marquinhos is a good centre-back. Kimpembe is average, just above average, but their partnership together, they understand each other very well. They're both fast. They're not the tallest, but they're good in the air, which is something as well. And I know I've spoken a lot, but their right back, Dagba, he's come in this season. He's a youngster. Pochettino showed faith in him. He's going to be gone for PSG in 2 years, because he looks like he's going to be he's a real deal.
Yeah, he was really good against Bayern, and you're saying that obviously the centre backs don't have much height, but City don't really have an out-and-out striker, so I think that doesn't really matter. But yeah, having Dagba against Foden potentially, be a good battle. And yeah, as you said, Neymar and Mbappe probably attack Kyle Walker, and obviously Di Maria against Zinchenko or Mendy. That's going to be whoever obviously wins that tie is going to win the Champions League, to be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's either PSG or Man City to win the Champions League.
I think the thing is, Pep Guardiola he's a genius in terms of his tactical work and his prowess on the touchline. I'm looking at the PSG team that they play in the Champions League, and I'm looking at Manchester City in general. Kimpembe and Diallo. Diallo is the left back. He's a centre back by trade, but he's been operating in the left back position. I can't see Manchester City doing anything other than just taking advantage of their weakness, because Diallo is the weakness in that team. As I said, in my opinion, I don't rate Kimpembe as highly as some other people do, and he's on the left-hand side as well. So their left side of defence isn't as strong as their right side, and I think Manchester City will try and take advantage of that. And I hope and pray that Mbappe, Neymar, and Di Maria in particular are on form over those two legs, because anything to stop City winning.
PSG players are hurt from last season's defeat in the final, especially Neymar. Mbappe looks like he's just on it. I think it's the worst time to face PSG. I just feel like they're just Poch as well. He also wants to get to the final and win it, because obviously he didn't win it with Spurs. So there's lots there. That is going to be a great tie. Yeah, I think that's enough of the second best competition in Europe. Let's move on to the Europa League. This is where
elite players will play.
This is where the elite guys play. Start with Arsenal's side actually.
Yeah.
They obviously gunned down Slavia Prague or whatever their name is. They gunned them down. Was it 4-0 yesterday?
Yeah.
5-1
on aggregate.
I mean, can't lie. After seeing that, I'm actually worried if we were to progress to the final, I'd actually be scared.
I don't think we have anything to be scared about. I know Slavia Prague have made it to this far in the Europa League, but I don't think they were ever a genuine threat to Arsenal. Banter aside, I like to make fun of Arsenal, poke jokes, and have fun because it's football. We have a rivalry, but they were always going to progress. I didn't think it would be a 4-0 demolition, but after all of this, I'm not going to say speculation because I believe the player was racist. After all the negativity surrounding their club and the backing that Arsenal would have had in that game, just to beat them because of the incident, I believe it was always going to be an easy win for them. They played well, but you said if we play them in the final, you'd be a bit worried. It's Arsenal. At the end of the day, we're better than them in every position, and they have these games where they can win 5 or 6-0, but then next week they're going to lose 2-0 to they could lose to a League Two side. It's very topsy-turvy with Arsenal.
No, I definitely agree that obviously they can win 4-0 this week and then go lose next week. But this is a cup competition. If we were to get to the final and play them in the final, they're obviously going to turn up. They always turn up against us. And I mean, not like I'm going to be worried that we'll lose, but I mean, I'll be worried that they could potentially do something and harm us because we haven't beaten Arsenal this season. We drew against them in the league. We lost against them in the league. It's just something against Arsenal. They always just turn up against us specifically. Obviously, they still have to overcome Villarreal. We have to overcome AS Roma, obviously, to get to the final. I don't really know too much about Roma. I know they have Dzeko. I know they have, obviously, Mkhitaryan. He used to play for us.
They've got Pellegrini, who we've been linked with. Roma, I can't say I know too much about them as well. They're a good side, but I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I think we have an easier, side to the draw. Villarreal, I think, was the toughest opponent we could have come up against. I saw a tweet, and I agree with the tweet. Unai Emery has a special bond with the Europa League, so I think anyone who came up against Villarreal is gonna have a tougher match than anybody else because he knows how to win the competitions. Where he didn't do too well at Arsenal, but he has a very good trophy cabinet. I believe that will beat Roma. They have a few dangerous players. They have Chris Smalling, who obviously have a point to prove against us. You said they have Dzeko, but I don't think he's been starting too many games. I might be wrong, so don't quote me on that. Yeah, it's going to be a tricky match. It's a semi-final.
Yeah, of course.
But
it's 2 legs. I think last season was 1 leg. I think this is 2 legs.
Yeah, I believe it was. I think the final and semi-final they're so different. First of all, the semi-final is 2 legs, and I know we haven't won a semi-final on the Solskjaer, but with the players we have in this squad and it being 2 legs, I'm going to name everyone that I can remember. We've got Mata, Pogba, Martial, Rashford. I know they were going to be De Gea, obviously. I don't know if Luke Shaw is injured or not, but they've won the Europa League before. They know what that feeling is like. When you have a team that, the majority of players have never experienced that before, I feel like it's much more difficult for them to get in that mood and progress to that stage that they can recreate that feeling. But we have players in the squad who are now playing at the level they should be, or maybe even higher than they should be, at the right time. And I believe that they'll want to win it again, obviously. And I believe that we'll, not going to say brush past Roma, but I don't think it's a very difficult match.
I think it'll be light work for him. I think there's no reason why we don't get to the final. If Oli doesn't get to the final, then he has to get sacked. And Yeah. Do you not agree? If Oli doesn't get to the final, he has to get sacked. We can't be attending 6 finals in 2 years and you not get to one six semi-finals in 2 years and you not even get to one final. We'd have to get sacked for that.
When the thing is, yeah, it's so easy to say that, but when you sack a manager, you got to think about so many things. Who's coming in for him? What players are definitely going to leave, and what manager is going to maintain that level and improve it at the same time? Because we can't go through another 3-year rebuild. I can't. I think we're too far into this one to restart.
The semi-final loss.
But I don't you think we're too far into whatever's happening now to just scrap it and go back?
I mean, he won't lose, but I'm just saying if he was to lose, we just can't go through that again.
Hypothetically, if we had a new manager lined up that was better than Oli and could guarantee that we're not going to have to sell 9 players and do all of this because that won't happen. But if that was all set up and he lost this and had a bad ending to the Premier League season, then if he got sacked, I don't think I'd be able to hold the corner anymore. I think I'd have to concede. But if he had a great ending to the Premier League season and there wasn't another manager out there who was actually of a certain level, I don't think you could sack him. Because whatever anybody thinks, there has been progress this season. We have been a better team this season. We've accumulated more points. We're higher in the league and actually deservedly so, because when Mourinho was second, it was like, how are we second? It doesn't even feel like we're second. It feels like we're fourth. It feels like we're fifth. But this time round, it's like, I know in the last show we was talking about our Premier League actually might be on, same points in games as 2012. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's the progress is there. So I think it would be outrageous to sack him right now unless everything falls apart.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, talking about the game, Pogba was made captain.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a way to try keep him at the club?
100%. As soon as I saw that captain's armband, all I'm thinking of is where's the contract? The contract.
Yeah, they knew what they're doing. Obviously, Bruno was there, but they're like, nah, your contract's very secure. Let's give it to Pogba. Let's try get him in. And I mean, he got this for Cavani. That was like a goal, just like made in cage or something. Like it was just a perfect header back and first time volley by Cavani in the corner. And I mean, you just can't afford to lose Pogba. He's just too good.
I'm not gonna lie. The armband, the armband thing is important because Bruno Fernandes was on the pitch and he was captain earlier this season when Maguire wasn't playing. I don't think Pogba was playing, but if Bruno's on the pitch and Pogba's on an armband, that has to mean that Pogba is the vice captain.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
And typically contracts don't get announced publicly the day they sign. It's probably like a week or two. Media teams and the club will know that now is probably not the best time to announce his contract. If he has signed one, it might be announced next week if he has signed one. I'm not saying anybody watching. I'm not saying that Pogba signed a contract, by the way. I'm just saying if he has given his for an armband, his interview about the former manager.
The thing is, how all of this is coming out right now is very weird because Jose Mourinho was the one that removed the captaincy or the vice captaincy from Pogba. And then obviously Oli gives him captain against yesterday. And then the story comes out, Pogba's interviewed talking about Mourinho. It's such weird timing. And
that interview, by the way, wasn't a shock to anybody at Manchester United. I'll tell you guys now, I studied journalism at uni. I've interviewed a couple of footballers, and the process that goes into even getting an interview, you have to email press officers the questions that you want to ask. And if there's a question in there that, is a negative, you can't ask it. And the players, the interviewees will have to say certain things. They won't be allowed to say certain things. So the fact that Pogba's even talking about Mourinho in like a slight dig, he's giving digs to Mourinho. They would have known that. That was prepared. Everyone involved in anything to do with sport nowadays, especially football, they're media trained. They're told to say certain things. That interview was so meticulously planned. That wasn't a shock to anybody. I'll tell you that now. That's why I think there is either a contract that's already been signed or very, very deep talking stage of the contract, because as you said, it's weird that everything like this is happening right now. I think it's suspicious in a good way. And I'm happy that I'm feeling this, because in the back of my mind, Pogba's staying.
I mean, you heard it here first. Pogba signs contract in
3 years. I'm guessing 3 years.
2025. He's here until 2025. I mean, we let you know the exclusives. I mean, make sure you subscribe button as well to find out more. But yeah, if Pogba stays, I mean, we're winning the league next year. If he stays and we sign a centre back, and I think a centre back and I don't even know centre back and because also
what we were talking about before. What we was talking about before.
Sancho and maybe might need a striker, you know. I don't know, but
okay. Speaking of now, I mean, you said his name. We only found out that Harry Kane's broken another record tonight. We found out a few minutes ago when he broke it. He is the third Premier League player in history to score 20 plus goals in 5 different seasons. Now, I asked Ibs what he would prefer. I've given him 2 options. Harry Kane in the summer, which means that we won't be able to sign a replacement for Fred or McTominay and a replacement for Victor Lindelof to partner Harry Maguire at the back. That doesn't mean we won't sign a defensive midfielder and a centre-back. It just means that we won't be spending the amount of money to bring in that quality to kick someone else out of the team. Or we don't sign Harry Kane and we sign the top-class CDM as centre-back. I personally would sign the CDM as centre-back, but Ibs, what do you think?
Good evening, Big Ron. Yeah. I think, obviously, Kane, the match just ended now. 2-2 Everton, Tottenham. Kane got the second goal.
Oh, man.
And he's doing it in the Spurs team. Why not do it in a red shirt, Red United shirt? I mean, getting Kane up front. I still think we need a right wing. But centre back, it depends on how Eric Bailly, obviously, potentially will leave. I don't think the club is actually looking at centre backs. I mean, Sancho,
I think that's
the whole Sancho saga from last summer, they're going to have to complete that deal. I think that deal has to be done this summer. And then after that has been completed, I think it is between either one of a striker, a CDM. I don't even think a CDM if Pogba stays. It's between a striker and a centre-back. Because we still have Van der Beek. Pogba, potentially, if he stays, I don't think they would purchase a CDM. So then it's between a centre-back and a striker. And if Harry Kane and Spurs don't get top 4 or Champions League, Kane has to leave. Because we can't see Spurs selling Kane to United. CDM and right wing are priorities for me.
You see, I think the wording of Big Ron's message is very, very important there. I obviously want to see United go for Harry Kane, and I know a lot of other fans, millions of fans, will want to see Kane come to Man United, but I can't see Spurs actually doing that deal. Daniel Levy or Levi, however his name is pronounced, is an astute businessman. It's well known across the footballing world that Daniel Levy is a very, very, very difficult person to deal with. He's going to get every single penny out of Kane that he can get, and he's going to think about the impact that it could have on his team and the team he sells it to. We're not a direct rival to Tottenham, but I would say from his eyes, we probably are, because we're not winning the title. We're competing for similar positions. He's not going to want to strengthen us with a player like Kane, who is, I'd say, the second best striker in the world. He wouldn't do that. I don't think he'd sell Harry Kane to anybody in the Premier League.
So you think he wouldn't sell Kane if Spurs don't get top 4 Champions League when Kane is demanding that? Kane has openly said that he wants to win trophies, wants to be playing Champions League. Why would Kane want to stay another season?
But think about you could.
He would try to force his way out.
Football. Yes, he'd want to leave, and I think he's already might have said it through somebody that if Spurs don't get top four, if they don't get Champions League football, then he won't be staying at the club. But there are other clubs other than the Premier League that probably. I don't even know. I can't even finish what I'm saying because I'm just thinking about his price tag and his wages. Levy, I just can't. Levy could go sell to another team in the Premier League because of the fact that Tottenham will be fighting for Champions League spots. No club other than United, City, Chelsea, because they have money, Bayern, PSG, Inter Milan, because they're going to get money from the Scudetto, Real Madrid and Barcelona, Atletico Madrid have the money for someone like Kane. So he's got other options and he will get offered around. It's not just, if you want me, come get me. It's, I'm available. This is who I am, blah, 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 to 10 different teams. That's how it's going to work with a player like Kane because of his ability and, actual talent.
Yeah, Big Ron says he'd love Kane, but it'd be difficult. We'll keep Cavani for another season and see what the landscape is for a striker then. Yeah, fair enough. Cavani is obviously our best striker in the club at the moment. His movement is amazing. He's getting goals now. He scored yesterday, scored against Spurs. Could have had 2 against Spurs. So, I mean, I think the Cavani situation, it's all dependent on whether he wants to stay at the club or he wants to go to South America and finish his career there. So, at the same time, he's not going to be playing every single game. And see Anthony Martial, or is injured at the moment. So, I mean, yeah, that could be an option, but if you want to be challenging, I don't know. Kane is tied down to a big contract.
Yeah, Kane's in a golden cage, but Cavani's an interesting one. Personally, obviously I want Kane. I want the best striker in the world. I want the best in class at our club, but I would prioritize a centre-back, a defensive midfielder, and a right winger before we go for a striker. Because we have Henderson Cavani. If we didn't have Cavani, I think my tier list would be completely different. But because we have his intelligence, his actual talent, and his goal-scoring ability in the team, and actually on form at the moment, I would like to see him at the club for another year to get goals because he'll have better players around him next season to provide him with the better chances and to just help educate players like Greenwood. And I say players like Greenwood because I want him to be our striker eventually because I think that's where he plays best. But at the same time, I've always said it, if a player wants to leave, let them leave. And Boca Juniors are one of the biggest clubs in the world, not just South America. And if he wants to go back, if he wants to go and play for them, I don't stop him.
Yeah, this is basically what you're saying, that he can obviously teach the younger strikers, Rashford, Martial, and obviously Greenwood. And yeah, I think it's true because Greenwood has definitely already learned a few aspects of the game, obviously from Cavani. And yeah, as you say, Greenwood should be our number 9, potentially in the future. I think, yeah, keeping Cavani maybe for next year could be a good option in the development of Greenwood.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. And I just hope that nothing goes salty or, there's no bad blood. I just want it to get resolved as quickly as possible, but obviously that won't happen. I just want the best for us, man. And I'm so sick and tired. These 5-month-long sagas, especially the Jadon Sancho one. I just want stuff to get done quickly so we can actually move on and get every ounce of effort from every player.
Going back to this comment about Big One's suggesting that we get CDM and right wing. I'm guessing the right wing is obviously Sancho, as we've mentioned.
Yeah.
And I think the CDM, maybe you're mentioning Declan Rice, potentially. That's maybe who you're talking about. Declan Rice, I think I've seen it more and more, like obviously his performances for West Ham. I think he is the guy that we need because he can actually pass the ball. This is football. You should be able to pass the ball, but I think that skill is actually taken for granted because people like Fred. I have to get back onto Fred because he played well against. Okay, he didn't play well against Spurs. He just got a goal against Spurs. That was it.
Yeah.
Apart from that, he didn't play well. Even yesterday, misplaced passes. It's just not good enough. Whereas Declan Rice, he can pick up the ball from the goalkeeper and make a pass, and he can defend, and that's all we need from a CDM.
Yeah, I mean, Declan Rice, as well as his passing, he has quick turnover. Yeah, you can have a inch perfect pass, but if it takes you 10 seconds to play it, you might as well just not play the ball. Declan Rice is able to get the ball, already know what he's going to do, and just pass it on as quickly as possible. And that's something that I really do appreciate, and it's something that we've missed since Michael Carrick. Michael Carrick, Paul Scholes, Darren Fletcher, Anderson, Owen Hargreaves were all players that just got the ball and just got rid of it and passed it to our danger men as quickly as possible. It's not a surprise that Fernandes, especially Fernandes, hasn't been. He's been playing well, but he hasn't been producing the numbers. He hasn't been stat padding recently because we haven't been playing with the intensity. When Bruno Fernandes gets the ball after 5 seconds of making that space, there's already 2 guys on him. There's already 3 guys on him before he's even turned. 4 months ago, when he was getting in the goal and assist every single game, he was getting the ball so quick. So we had all of that time to take the shot, play that killer pass, or do something. But recently, we've been playing a type of football that's just side to side. It's reminding me of Mourinho and Van Gaal, just like a mixture of those two. But we're getting results.
Yeah, you're saying early in the season, Fernandes was getting the service.
Yeah.
And so what's changed? Someone could say to you, okay, he was getting the service. What's changed? Why do we need to now buy a CDM?
We're playing slower football now. That's what's changed. We can, obviously no one said that right now, but anybody who says that to me, I'll happily sit down and watch games from 4 months ago and watch games from 3 weeks ago, and you'll see the speed at which we move the ball is just slowed down so much. It's almost like when Ollie's job was on the line, he was thinking, I might get sacked. There's a genuine possibility that I might get sacked. So I know we're not going to be playing as football that's as entertaining, but we're going to have to get the results, whether it's a 1 or 2-0, park the bus, keep the ball. Because if we have the ball, we can't concede. And that's the way I think Ollie's looking at it. And obviously, because he started to get results and we've got 23 games away from home in the Premier League unbeaten, he's thinking, this actually works. So we're sticking with it. And maybe now he might be a little bit nervous about trying to. You see that half that we played against Spurs? Yeah, we won that half 3-0. We won the game 3-1. But as I said before, we can't play like that every match.
Yeah.
And with the results that we've won playing a boring style of football, Ollie's thinking, we're winning matches. So, and at some point, he does have to think about himself. And he's thinking, I'm not getting sacked now, am I? So he's sticking with it. And that just means that we're not going to be scoring 4 or 5 goals a match. And Bruno Fernandes won't be getting 2 goal contributions a match. I think it's as simple as that.
Dennis is spot on. That teams have worked you out. Bruno was the person on the block, and teams have got to be similar to Greenwood. I think now we're starting to see more goals from Greenwood because obviously he realised that the teams know how to defend against him, and now obviously he's varying up his game. And he's back on the score sheet recently. Bruno, I think with Bruno, it's just a matter of time. We just need to get the ball quicker to him, as he said. It'll be a matter of time because Bruno is world class.
Yeah.
And you don't just get this many. He's our top goal scorer. You don't just get that many goals and assists for no reason. And with Pogba obviously back in the team as well, I think the pressure has just come off Bruno. Pogba's also chipping in with goals and assists as well. So I think it's all working well at the moment. And obviously Lingard doing well at West Ham. Could potentially do a swap deal of some sort with Rice if the club decides to negotiate properly. And everyone says we don't have to get Rafinha from Leeds.
I think it does have to be Sancho. If we get Rafinha from Leeds, all that does is highlight the fact that we can't get our first choice. And there is a big difference. Yes, Rafinha's done well this season, but I think he's done as good as he has because no one's seen him before. And I think it's like a bit of a shock. So I would be happy, I guess, with Rafinha from Leeds, but we can get better players than that. We have to remember we're Manchester United. And Sancho is the one we very publicly want. So I think it has to be him. And I'm seeing over the last few days from lots of different sources that 86 million could be the price he goes for this summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sancho.
I think that's a good. I think that's fair enough. Then, if with that being the case, do you think it's been good business with Man U not deciding to get him at the start of this season and waiting until obviously this transfer market coming up to get him?
No, I don't think it's been good business at all. Because if we had Sancho, if we bought him last summer after a season where he got 20 plus and then another 20 plus goals and assists, you're bringing in the hottest talent, the hottest winger in his position, and you never know what could have happened this season. We could be on top of the Premier League. We could have made way more money with Sancho in the team than we have now. You never know in football, but cool. Sancho will be a big part of the transfer budget. We'll have much change left, not of the transfer budget, but we are looking to get rid of players. I mean, even in the Declan Rice deal, West Ham, Lingard's representatives are saying that he doesn't want to be used as a make weight in the deal. They say that probably going to happen anyway. We will sell players and accumulate money. We will make more money from different places, and we will still be able to sign other players because we're looking at a centre back 50 to 60 million. We're looking at a CDM 40 to 60 million, and we're still looking at a striker or a winger. So we have money because we are going to make money as well. So it just depends on when we get deals done.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously, you said a few episodes ago that this potentially could be one of the biggest transfer windows ever.
Mm.
The new young talent about Sancho, Haaland, Mbappe, Kane. Everyone says, I think it's a good move. In United not signing Sancho doesn't look good this season, as he has before. I think Jack Grealish is outshining him. I think, obviously, Ollie wanted Jack Grealish. We got Van der Beek has said. So I think we're not going to be getting Jack Grealish anymore. Obviously, Sancho, it's hard to judge him on this season because he has been injured this season. When he wasn't injured, he wasn't performing as well. I think that was due to the negotiations breaking down with Man U. So obviously,
he thought he was coming.
Yeah, he thought he was coming. He was in London. He thought he was going to come, and then obviously he went back to Germany. I mean, that obviously disrupts the young player.
Yeah.
And we don't. Yeah. The summer with the Euros, not sure how much time we.
That's a very, very important problem as well because international tournaments, players' prices go up if they play well. It's a fact. We are not a club that gets deals done quickly, especially big deals. Big deals drag on for whatever reason. For no good reason, deals with us drag on. So I'm hoping and praying, although it's very unlikely, but I'm restoring some hope because of the new staff members in higher positions. I'm hoping that we've already started negotiations and we'll be able to get deals done either before the Euros or have deals set in place, contracts signed, and then after the Euros, they just have the medical or whatnot. I'm hoping that's the case. Because if not, we can write everybody off this and we can write Declan Rice off because we're not paying that extra 15 million. We're not paying that extra 15 million for Sancho, and we're definitely not paying that extra 15 to 20 for Pau Torres or Jules Koundé. It's a tricky one.
But yeah, we'll have, I think, transfers just the same stories every week. I mean, same players we're talking about. We don't know whether the board have the competency to do it or not. Next summer, 2022 World Cup. Players don't have any time off at all. Relentless, can lead to injuries, burnout. Yeah. I mean, it's tough for players. I mean, Euros this year, World Cup next year. I mean, I don't think they have much of a break after the Euros between the start of the season. And yeah, I mean, players all burn out. But yeah, talking about the next few fixtures this weekend, tomorrow, Newcastle, West Ham actually. Jesse Lingard probably will score again and increase his value, which is perfect. Wolves, Sheffield are basically relegated. Then on to Sunday, Arsenal, Fulham. I think Fulham also relegated. Man U, Burnley should get the win. And then
I've got no problems with Burnley.
Yeah, on to Monday, Leeds, Liverpool. I mean, that is battle of mid-table. No, I'm joking. Liverpool obviously pushing for top four.
Mm.
They can still get top four this season as well. Obviously, Chelsea, Brighton on Tuesday. Yeah, the games are spread out. Obviously, Tottenham play today, so they're playing on Wednesday next week.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow is a FA Cup semi-final. Man City, Chelsea, Southampton, Leicester. What could have been us? I mean,
Could have been us, but it's
it's
not.
not now. It's Man City.
Chelsea are our hope at the moment. Hoping that Tuchel produces a masterclass and just knocks Man City out. Don't care if Chelsea win the FA Cup, just not Manchester City. Anything to stop Man City winning that treble, let alone the quadruple.
I said to one of my friends, if City win the quadruple, I'm going to buy a shirt. I'm going to have to buy a shirt. Because there's no way that it's happening. There's actually no way that they're winning 4 trophies.
I don't know what to say. It's Manchester. It's Man City. It's Manchester City. They have the depth, which is why I think it's a genuine possibility.
I mean, it doesn't happen because that money is not coming out of my bank account to go to Man City. But yeah, I think that ends this episode. We'll be back Sunday, reaction show for the Premier League. Thank you everyone for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Okay. And also English dominance in the European competitions. Obviously, 50% of the sides are from England. Could have 2 potential English finals: Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United. I mean, that'll be the best combination. And yeah, let us know in the comments as well who you think is going to win Champions League and Europa League. Champions League, I'm saying PSG. Europa League, I'm saying Man U. What about you?
I'm going to agree with that.
You going to agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Cheers, Big Ron. And
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Goodbye, guys.